Hello, we are back here at DevPlay and we have a special guest, Karen So, Senior Cinematic Designer at Blizzard Entertainment. Hello, Karen, how are you feeling here at DevPlay?
Oh, I'm feeling really great. It's such an awesome event, and there's like so many people, and I'm feeling like really invigorated and everything here. So
You are the first one in Romania, or?
yeah, this is my first time, so I'm excited to be
And
here.
you've came here in this big building, which
Yeah.
is the second largest in the world.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. Yeah, it's so gorgeous. I almost feel like I have to dress up fancier just to be in this building. But yeah, it's pretty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Karen, I saw that you just talk about cinematics and how the way the Blizzard uses them to enhance the story and the overall experience. I got to admit, Blizzard cinematics are great.
Yeah.
I still remember from StarCraft, from Diablo, and we've seen what you are doing with World of Warcraft. How do you come up with these ideas, and how do they help with the story overall?
As far as how the ideas are done, I think a lot of people, especially the people in the game teams, they come together and they kind of jam together and create some sort of rough outline, and then the story and franchise development group joins in, and they all just think of like how the characters would impact the story, how it would impact gameplay, and they just sort of have this roadmap of what each character would do and how that would lead to, the final ending later on, and then just how to continue that story and so forth. So I think a lot of people just come together and work and give their ideas. So it's a very collaborative process.
I always like how Blizzard usually tells many parts of the stories through their cinematics. They don't use many texts or like other games. Is this something you are reaching for, or is this something that just come out?
I think as far as like texts go, we try not to have as much text in our cinematics. We do try to have something voiceless as much as we can. Like, for example, the in-game cinematics. Like, if anything involves the player, then we try not to have the player say anything, because that's a lot of voices that we'd have to record. But also, we want to make sure that our cinematics are understood by everyone. And emotion is universal. You can tell by someone's face if they're happy or angry or sad. And if, I said I was happy in one language, you might not understand me in another language. So we try to show emotion because that's something that everybody can understand, and therefore we try not to have as many words or text as possible. It's just something that we can show without having to translate, because I don't have to translate my face. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have one cinematic in particular you like from many of the Blizzard games, or something if you can think about it right now?
Well, I really like the cinematic that just came out during BlizzCon for World of Warcraft Shadowlands, where Sylvanas is finally revealed, and she goes against Bolvar, the Lich King, and they fight, and then she shatters Azeroth, and
yes, and it starts a very interesting story. We can't wait to see.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You are also at a panel yesterday talking about the presence of women in gaming and the representation. Do you think we are making good steps in these directions, and what are the problems that companies should address in order to help women accommodate better?
I definitely think we are making great strides into improving how women are interacted with in the workforce. It definitely was different when I started, but now I think there's more inclusivity. There's more people just being aware of how they're behaving, how they're acting towards women, or just making sure that women's voices are heard. And I think what companies can do is to just listen, to just if there's any woman that you feel is being marginalized or not being heard, just be an ally and give them a voice at the table, or just make sure their opinions are heard, or maybe just even fight for them, or help promote their ideas. I'm not saying if you're a boss you should always promote women, but just make sure that if you're having like a discussion, just make sure that they're their opinions and thoughts are being included as well, and to just kind of spread awareness that yes, this is an industry that is still growing, and yes, not just men can make video games, like women can make video games too. And I think that's really important, especially when talking to young girls or students that are just starting out in the industry. Like we want to make sure that the games industry is inclusive, and we can do that by inviting people of all genders to just come and enjoy and be creative with us.
Yes, I really like the fact that women are more interested in video games.
Yes.
When I grew up, if I talked with a girl and I said I like video games, she just laughed.
Yeah, no, I think there are definitely girls interested in video games, at least when I was growing up. I was interested in video games, but I think they are there. We just have to reach out. We just have to tell them hey, this world is also for you. Like we're here, we're all just playing video games. Like, video games is what should be uniting us, not dividing us. And we should all just come together and play and have fun. I think that's the most important takeaway from this.
And express our vision and everything. Blizzard seems like an inclusive company, perhaps more than others. How did you adapt? Did you have problems at the beginning, or?
No, actually, I feel very fortunate to have started at Blizzard, and my team and my managers have been very supportive. They've always made sure that I had a voice at the table. They always wanted to hear my opinions. They always wanted my feedback and input. So I feel very empowered to go and make mistakes or try something new or suggest ideas. Like, I don't feel afraid or hindered by anything because of my gender or anything like that. And I think Blizzard is doing a great job in terms of in increasing their diversity and inclusion awareness throughout the company. They do have several initiatives. They have Women at Blizzard, which is one of the initiatives that they're using to just kind of give women a safe space to talk about any issues they may come up, or with how to self-improve, or how to get better at women's issues. There's also another initiative for LGBTQ communities. There's also initiatives for veterans at work. When veterans come back home, they usually are in a tough spot and they're unable to get jobs because they've been away for so long. But we do have programs for them to get jobs and work at Blizzard. We also have initiatives for older employees, because most people think the games industry is full of young people, but no, there's starting to be more people who are in their 40s and 50s working in games, and I think that's wonderful, because I'm approaching that sort of corridor myself. So yeah, there's just a multicultural group, so there's lots of diverse groups at Blizzard, and I think the diversity and inclusion umbrella is really good at just trying to get the word out and just making sure everybody feels heard and appreciated, and it really feels like a big family.
Yeah. You are talking about Sylvanas. I think one of the good direction that the gaming industry is taking about including more women are also the fact that they are building games around very strong female characters. Blizzard have Sylvanas, Jaina Proudmore, there is Aloy from Horizon, Cassandra from Assassin's Creed. Are you happy with this direction? Do you think it's a good one? We need more strong female characters and icons in the gaming industry?
Yeah, I think it's an awesome direction. Growing up, there weren't really that many female characters that I could look up to in terms of video games, and I think the only one I could think of was Samus from Metroid, because she was such a badass character, but her gender didn't matter. So nowadays, I think when there are more video games featuring female characters in such strong, powerful positions, it's their gender is never brought up as being an issue. They're just everyday characters experiencing normal life like normal human beings, and I think that's so important, because they're as more and more girls play games, they just need to see oh, here's a character that looks like me, And I could totally, be an explorer. I could totally be a soldier, or I could be the strong person who rescues everyone. I think it's important for girls to see that whenever they play games. And it's, for me, I don't think it's just games as well. Like, we're starting to see it in movies too. Like, for example, like Captain Marvel, like she's a strong female superhero. We see it in Wonder Woman. I think like the general trend to feature more strong women is good, not just as like, they're side characters, but they're actual people. Because 50% of the world's population is female, so why not? And I really support this trend. So.
And I also understand that most gamers on mobile phone are women.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Like myself included. Like I'm more of a casual gamer myself, and I like playing Candy Crush and like my simple like flowering gardening games. So yeah, it's great that more women are being included in either decisions about game making or just decisions where they become female characters.
I got to ask you something about BlizzCon because
Yes.
many fans watched
Yes.
and there were so many huge announcements. What was the one that you are most excited for? Diablo, Overwatch 2, maybe the new World of Warcraft?
Well, I'm primarily a World of Warcraft fan, so
okay.
I was really excited about that. But the Diablo trailer like really blew me away. Like I had not seen anything like that before. I mean, we've done awesome trailers before for Diablo, but that one just felt so scary. Like I felt when the characters got nervous and they were afraid and they were being attacked, and it almost felt like a horror film in a way. But I really, really like the feel of it, and I'm excited for that to come out.
For me, it was like, I want to play this game
Yes,
now.
me
Please,
too. Me
please.
too. Yeah.
Okay. As a game developer and also as a gamer, even casual, how do you see the future of gaming? Are there any features that are not possible right now, but maybe you want to see them in the future or maybe work with or something?
As far as future gaming goes, like, I mean, this is just my personal opinion and
Yes,
not
yes,
Blizzard's,
no, that-
but I'd like to see like something where I guess we could use our hands more, just sort of like AR simulation, or like, because whenever I see a movie, like say any Marvel movie where you see Iron Man and he's touching the screen and he's just using his hands, like I want to be able to do that. Like I want to be able to do that without wearing a giant bulky headset. Also because I wear glasses, so that wouldn't work. But yeah, just something where I can easily like touch or feel something. It doesn't even have to be like a solid thing, just something where I can like hit a button on screen and then something else will happen. So augmented reality, I think, is the thing I'm most excited for.
Okay, in the end, Karen, can you please describe us in one word, if you can, your experience here in DevPlay and maybe in Romania even?
Oh man, it's definitely been insightful. Yeah.
Insightful.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. We will see you next time.
Bye.